Hello, my faithful divers. Let's go ahead and try this again. This will be the second time I tried to record this. And, first time I thought I had it in the bag. I had it uploaded. I had it on the old Duke's Dive Facebook page. But, alas, I had the microphone off the entire time. Yes, I had the microphone off. But I wanted to come on here and update you all my faithful divers, with a little bit of information. With the holidays upcoming, and I got a big birthday boy, 32 years old on January 2nd. Just figured I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. Just change up the formula here, at least until the new year comes. So this episode is going to be a short little piece. I want to talk about some specific news, and we're going to cover the big Impact versus AEW situation is what we're going to do. We're hot off the heels of a good AEW Dynamite, which was AEW Winter is Coming, which seen the debut of Sting, and the crowning of a new champion in Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega was on Impact. Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone made an impact. They made comments on Impact. Nothing really solid has come out of this situation yet. There's been a couple promos, and now it is Monday evening. As we know that tomorrow's Impact on the 15th will have Kenny Omega, and we also come off of a pretty decent AEW War Games. Some great wrestling going on. Impact's last show is completely on YouTube for free of charge. So, with that being said, check that out. I'll link that in the description for Impact's latest episode, and we're coming up on the heels of them tomorrow, like I said. So, we're gonna check them out too. But going off of the fact that there could be some very big implications between the situation of Impact versus AEW, or the formation of Impact and AEW, or whatever is going to go on here, I just wanted to come on and give you a couple dream scenarios I had thought up in my head here that I'd like to see go on. Some matches and at least a formation of a tag team here. Let me go ahead and start it off. This one would be from earlier in the year of 2019. We were supposed to get this on an Impact pay-per-view that was a throwback to TNA. The Young Bucks versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Another one I'd like to see is Lance Archer versus Madman Fulton. Another one is Dustin Rhodes versus Tommy Dreamer. Another one is FTR versus the North. Another one is Taz versus Ken Shamrock. That'd be a dream scenario. And if Taz can't do that, of course I'd like to see Ken Shamrock versus Brian Cage for that FTW belt. I'd like to see Ace Austin take on Kenny Omega. I'd like to see Crazy Steve versus Darby Allin. I'd like to see Abaddon versus Su Yung. I'd like to see Hikaru Shida versus Deonna Purrazzo. I'd like to see Jordynne Grace versus Nyla Rose. I'd like to see Sami Callihan versus Jon Moxley. I'd like to see Private Party versus Triple XL. I'd like to see Cody Rhodes versus Rich Swann. And I'd like to see Moose versus Brian Cage. Those are some of the dream scenarios I have thought up of when I think about the things that could come out of this whole situation here. And, that about wraps it up for this update and episode. The things I wanted to talk about are pretty much the the AEW Impact situation here, and on the next episode I will be covering a couple of IWTV shows that have happened over the past weekend on the 12th, which would be No Peace Underground, IWTV Pit Fighter 5, Jamie Senegal has a new show on IWTV, as well as there's going to be on Christmas Eve, also the Garden State Invitational by Synergy I'd like to cover, and on Christmas Eve, High Tension Wrestling and Camp Leapfrog will have the Trio Special, so that's a special event I want to cover, maybe even separately than everything else. Maybe even on the Slam on Wicked Turtle Network, which is another big shout out. Shout out to Wicked Turtle Network. Follow them on all forms of social media, because there will be a new podcast, not specifically wrestling related, but it's going to be maybe have some wrestling on there from time to time, but I know not everybody is into the wrestling thing, so I figured it would be a podcast for me and my buddy Travis and I, to talk about some music, some movies, some comic books, some television, some video games, and everything in between. Just some nerdy stuff going on between us, and it doesn't have to be necessarily anything time specific or whatever, but maybe some stuff that tripped our trigger that week that we want to talk about from any time, and whatever we're finding that we fancy that week, we're going to speak about and talk about on the Travis and Steven show. But that's going to be hosted exclusively by the Wicked Turtle Network, so make sure to check them out and follow them on all forms of social media. Next week, on next episode of the Duke's Dive, we'll have No Peace Underground, it will have IWTV Pit Fighter, it will have Synergy, it will have television wrestling, it will have Camp Leapfrog's Trio Special. It will be a jam-packed episode, and then I'll probably go back into hiding for at least a couple weeks until my birthday is done and over with, and hooray, 232. So, with that being said, I'll leave you here with a very digestible episode, less than 10 minutes in length. Follow the Wicked Turtle Network. Be ready for the the Travis and Steven podcast. That's going to be awesome. Get ready for Camp Leapfrog, and make sure to use the code LEAPFROG for 5 free days on IWTV. Catch that program for free if you want to. I don't think I was supposed to tell you that. But either way, go out and have some fun, watch some wrestling. I'll catch you up on the next dive. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next time. And I'll catch you next time, and I'll catch you next time, and I'll catch you next time, and I'll catch you next time. Hey guys and gals, become a member of the Wicked Turtle Nation today by following the Wicked Turtle Network on all forms of social media. If you're on the Wicked Turtle Network Facebook page, make sure you click like, make sure you click follow, and when you do that, also click the following tab. Make sure your slider is on for get notifications, as well as see first in your timeline. If you're on the Wicked Turtle Network Twitter page, which is at Wicked Turtle Net, all one word, make sure to follow and make sure to click the bell and choose the option all tweets. If you're on our Wicked Turtle Network YouTube page, make sure you subscribe. Also click the bell and choose the all option. If you're on the Wicked Turtle Network Instagram page, make sure you follow, click the bell, and make sure your sliders are on for posts, stories, and IGTV. You can also click live video and choose the all videos option to get all the notifications.